Today, I am here to talk to the parents who are parenting a child on the autism spectrum, just like me. Okay, I too am looking after a child who's going to be 17 soon, and a little more experienced maybe. And from my experience, what I have learned on this journey, I like to come and speak to parents who are also in the similar path or in the similar journey. So I like to talk to them. It's like a parent to parent, heart to heart, no formal therapies that I'm talking about. I'm just talking about things I feel so deeply when it comes to autism. Whatever I've learned, I like to share with my fellow parents. So today's topic uh, for you know today I have picked up a topic which is called fixation. Fixation in children on the spectrum. Uh, like you would have seen, what is fixation? Fixation is like that my child does not like variety. My child is fixed on certain toys, certain smells, certain food. So they like to repeat the certain words, phrases. They like their day to go in a certain manner, right? This is what is called fixation. Yeah. So it's like एक चीज पे अड़ जाना or it's not about their stubbornness. Okay. Let me make it clear. It is not, I said कि अड़ जाना does not mean stubbornness. It's just a very strong liking, a very strong, interest in a particular toy, in a particular phrases, in particular, in the routine that we follow. Generally, if you would have seen, we all, हम सबको एक रूटीन, एक पैटर्न, एक फ्रेमवर्क हम सबको ही चाहिए होता है, राइट? हमारे माइंड को चाहिए, राइट? अदरवाइज इट फील्स लाइक अ chaos, right? That how my day is going to look tomorrow, right? uh, the core remains the same. My meal times remain the same. My morning routine remain the same. During the day, what I'm going to do. If I don't know what I'm going to do, then it's like an idle time. And in the idle time, I might get bored or I might just pick up my phone and then call my friends. So this is how we fill up our idle time, or we know how to, we are motivated enough to pick up the, activity that we want to do. And if we are working, yes, there is a plan when we are going to have certain meetings. So that what is actually looking like a routine or a day, how the day will look like. Yeah. There's always an agenda. If you are working, if you are home or a homemaker, then there's always an agenda. What will be cooked? What has to be bought from market? So this is what is a routine. Same way, our children also require a structure, right? Because हमारे बच्चों को बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब उन्हें पता है what to expect next. While we are able to regulate our emotions, our children on spectrum are not able to regulate emotions when it comes to unpredictability. कुछ भी एकदम से all of a sudden कुछ हो जाता है या कुछ change हो जाता है. That time our children are not able to adjust. They are not able to adjust when it comes to change in the routine. That becomes a fixation. मेरे को एक तरीके से करनी है अपनी मेरे को एक्टिविटीज एक एक ऑर्डर में करनी है, वही ऑर्डर मुझे बार बार वही रिपीट करना कंफर्टेबल लगता है, क्योंकि मुझे अनप्रिडिक्टेबिलिटी अच्छी नहीं लगती. That's what our children are facing. They don't like unpredictability. And this is what is called fixation. अब ये क्यों होता है? Let's find out why this happens. This happens because our children are not able to they are not able to regulate their emotion. अगर उनको unpredictability है, उनको नहीं पता कि नेक्स्ट मोमेंट पे मैंने क्या करना है. दैट लीड्स टू एंजाइटी. एंजाइटी कैन ऑल्सो लीड टू एन फीलिंग ऑफ ओवरवेल. राइट, एकदम से इतना ज्यादा एंजाइटी हो गया कि वो बच्चा अब इस एंजाइटी का इमोशनली वो अपने आप को रेगुलेट नहीं कर पाया, एंड द चाइल्ड हैड अ मेल्टडाउन. Right? This is what happens when the child is too fixated on the routine. अब इसका क्या सोल्यूशन है? इसका सोल्यूशन है एक हम विजुअल स्केड्यूल बना के अपने बच्चे को दिखा सकते हैं. When the child is so very dependent on the routines, it's very nice to have them have a visual schedule. विजुअल स्केड्यूल कैन बी वेरी सिंपल, एंड ऑल दीज जो भी हमारे विजुअल स्केड्यूल मतलब जो हमारे दिनचर्या है, स्कूल जाना है, बस में बैठ के जाना है, स्कूल बस आएगी, राइट, ऑल दीज काइंड ऑफ स्मॉल फ्लैश कार्ड्स आर ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल ऑन द गूगल. सो वी कैन जस्ट डाउनलोड और एक पेपर लेंगे, उसको लैमिनेट करेंगे, उसमें टैगेट लगा के वो लगा देंगे और टाइम लिख देंगे, 7 to 8 wake up time. Then 7 to 7:30 wake up time. 7:30 you are going to brush, get ready with the bathing. 8 o'clock you have your breakfast. 8:30 we leave for school. And you can also have a flashcard which talks about the school bus. Now the question arises, Monday to Friday we are following the similar routine, and my child was very happy following the same routine every day. But on Saturday, it's a crash because there is a change in the routine, right? Now, again, if I am already preparing that schedule, I can make the changes in my visual schedule. And now I prepare my child beforehand that tomorrow we are going for a birthday party, or tomorrow we are going for a picnic, or going to mall, grocery shopping. What behavior is expected can also be taught. Now, fixation is not only with routine sometimes. Fixations is sometimes with a favorite toy. Now, what can be the reason for, for a fixation on a favorite toy? It can be a sensory. It is a sensory requirement that is getting fulfilled. The child is needing a sensory, he or she is wanting a sensory seeking behavior. It's, I want to jump around. I want a trampoline, right? I want to I want to spin. So it's basically a sensory thing, or I want to listen to music because it's an auditory input that I'm getting, and I'm cutting off many of the sounds around in the environment. That's also is giving me a pleasure when it comes to sensory calming. I'm calming myself with a favorite toy because it is predictable. Because I have played with it, now I am comfortable with a particular toy, right? We also get fixated. If you see your own routine, we are also in certain areas, we are fixated. Like we sleep in our room every day, we sleep on our bed. So sometimes this becomes like we get sleep only on our bed. If I have to change within our house, within the same house, if I have to change the room or change my bed, I might be little, I might have a little discomfort or a little, I would regulate my emotions fast away, but for our children, it becomes difficult because they don't like unpredictability, right? Sometimes our children get fixed on certain toys, certain activities, because those activities are their interest, their passion for certain, like some children, they are fixated with alphabets. They become good readers, right? They become good readers. They have a knack of language. They are passionate about alphabets, like Ranak was, right? Then they have fixation on numbers. They can be very good with maths, right? So these are when they are, fixated on certain activities, certain subjects. Actually, and it looks like a fixation, but it's a strong passion for that, that interest. It can be math, it can be English, it can be science, it can be, it could be any other activity, right? It could be gymming, it could be singing, it could be music, it could be a musical instrument, right? what is looking like a fixation now, it can be developed as a strength, right? Of course, it can be. And how do we deal with fixations, right? First of all, when there is a fixation, yes, we sometimes feel that the child is only playing with a certain toy, or he or she is only aligning the trains, right? So instead of taking it as a challenge, let's start looking with a different perspective and think that this interest or fixation within objects can be taken as tools to bring in other things. If suppose if the child is so fixated on trains, it's playing with trains again and again or putting them in line, language can be built up around this train. There can be a story that can be built up around this train, right? If the child is fixated on numbers, we can start teaching them advance how to use that number, how numbers, numbers can be, how nine number is a magical number, how, addition can be done faster, how mental maths can be done, because they are anyways fixated on maths, right? If they are fixated on alphabets, then they'll be good readers. Then let's make them read. And along with reading, what happens is that their vocabulary increases, their language increases. And once their language increases, their receptive language increases, their understanding of the world increases. And that's what has happened with Rana. And also, he has a knack for learning other languages as well. Like he picked up Hindi, we never used to speak Hindi with him. And he started picking up Hindi also. Right now, he's able to even reply back in Hindi, which we never actually had. It was not in our agenda to teach him Hindi because we were concentrating on English because we main, that's the medium of communication all over India, common language, right? So that is what was my thing. So, and if the child is loving a toy, then that becomes the reinforcement, right? So first you do finish one thing, then I will give your favorite thing. So जो ये fixation है, अब we start using to teach them more and more things, right? Sometimes a child is having fixated on certain words. So नरा के साथ ऐसा होता था that he'll find certain words very funny. That जैसे हम I would use various voices, various sounds when he's playing. Like if he's coming from the slide, I would say zoom, zoom, zoom. He used to enjoy. He used to start laughing. Okay, so he has a particular memory to that word or that sound, and it gives them happiness. So the moment he is, he is in anxiety, I use those words to calm him down. Those words become a calming tool for me, right? And also, if there is, so zoom also something like I say zoop zoop zoop, or like I use those kind of sounds. They were like just to give a sound effect. Sometimes there are words or phrases which children love. You can use those phrases, those words in different contexts. Teach them language. You know, so that's what I'm trying to say. The challenge, what we were looking at behavior of our child as a challenge, we use it to their advantage, right? So hence we can deal with the fixations. And you would see the more you expose, the more you start using those fixations will turn out to be to help you to teach them more things. When you're teaching them new things become their fixations, right? The more we expose them, the more we get to know about their personality, right? अब उनको अगर हमने दी 5 चीजें, उसमें से एक ही चीज वो उठाएगा ना, right? अगर but if I give him 100 words, उसमें से there will be 5 words that he will start liking a lot. Then I can play around with these words in different contexts, teach him language, right? Same thing happens with the toys. जिस टाइप के टॉयज अच्छे लग रहे हैं उतना वहां पे एक्सपोज करना स्टार्ट कर दीजिए, राइट? जहां फिक्सेशन है मींस वो सेंसरी सीकिंग है, वो प्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी है. दैट इज अ कामिंग टूल फॉर माय चाइल्ड एंड इट्स आल्सो अ पीक इनटू देयर वर्ल्ड. ठीक है, उनका interest, they are showing our interest, their interest or their passion for certain activities. Some children are so fixated. Rana was so fixated on music, right? And so I use music to my advantage. So I, it is a calming tool. First of all, it's a calming tool for me. The moment I see some anxiety, what his favorite song, I'll put it on. Okay. So because it is music, I keep my Alexa ready. So, and I know what all things, what all rhymes he likes to hear, what all songs he likes to hear. I will put his music. The anxiety is gone within seconds, and he's distracted, right? So it's a best. Fixation gives us an opportunity to help them deal with their emotions, sensory overload, right? Emotional overload. And these fixations are something we need to carry with us while we are going out somewhere where we think it can be a, it can be a sensory overload. Because now these are become our reinforcers. This becomes our reinforcers. And these fixations can be given to them for a limited time after they have done what we expected them to do, right? And that's how we start encouraging them to speak, to encourage them to behave properly, right? Because there is something they want to go to. And then this becomes their reinforcements. So while there are certain challenges our children show it to us, we see a lot of challenges and we see them as challenge. Now, if we start, अगर हम ये अपने आप को क्वेश्चन अपने आप को पूछने लगते हैं कि अगर ये चैलेंज आ रहा है, ये मुझे चैलेंज लग रहा है, इसको अब बच्चे और अपने एडवांटेज के साथ कैसे यूज करना है, राइट? अब जहां पे उसकी फिक्सेशन अगर किसी वर्ड के साथ है तो उसी के उस वर्ड के ही बहुत सारे, like Rana somehow when we introduced the word magazine and he started liking magazine a lot, word magazine. Now magazine से तो बहुत सारे sentences बनते हैं. I read magazine, I see picture in magazines, I read and I read about a lot of personalities in the magazine. Okay, magazine comes weekly, magazine comes monthly. So many things you can walk around. Now we as parents, we need to, when we are parenting a child on the spectrum, not only that we need to develop patience. Yes, they will teach us how to develop that patience. That we don't have to ask anybody for help. We will be patient parents, right? But what else Rana converted me to was creativity, right? Like you start using the challenges in our own advantages. So this only is leading, what gets instigated in me is a creative mind, a creative thing. कि अच्छा अब ये ऐसा सक्सेसफुल हो गया इसके फिक्सेशन से I you know I could make text new meanings, and the same way goes for food also. अब फूड में फिक्सेशन है, उसको सिर्फ वो ही खाना खाना है, ठीक है? बट आई वॉन्ट टू इंट्रोड्यूस एग्स, आई वॉन्ट टू इंट्रोड्यूस सैलेड्स और फ्रूट्स. अब क्या करें मैडम, वो तो नहीं खा रहा कुछ भी. तो पिकी ईटर्स का भी जो हैंडल करने का तरीका है वो होता है उनके फिक्सेशन. अब ये जो फिक्सेशन है वो इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं खा रहा, आई एम स्केर्ड एंड आई एम वरिड अबाउट कि उसका न्यूट्रिशन पूरा नहीं हो रहा, उसको तो सारा टाइम जंक ही अच्छा लगता है. हाउ डू आई इंट्रोड्यूस सम फ्रूट्स, right? So many of the children, they don't like to have fruits. So what do? I pair them. I pair his comfort food with not so comfortable food and start developing his taste buds for fruit, right? I can try different fruits with keeping his favorite food there intact. Okay? And first, the quantity of his or her favorite food is more, and the thing that we want to introduce, maybe one slice of apple, maybe one slice of orange, right? You have this and you get this and you do that. Whatever you're saying, do that. Be authentic to your child. Tomorrow you can try again. Tomorrow it's not one slice, it is two slices, right? And slowly, when the stomach gets filled with what we want them to eat, their taste buds are ready. This quantity reduces, this quantity increases. And that's how we deal even with the, it is a fixation on they are picky eaters, but we take that as our advantage in this way. And it is done in a very slow manner. It's not, it's like now I start creative. I have become creative in a way that if this is what is his love, then with his love, how I can pair other things with. We can even pair, we can even bring social, that social skills in them. Like, okay, you do you want your friend also to have chips? You also want to have chips? Okay, let's go and say hi. Okay. So just hi, you say, the friend also gets chips, you also get chips. Fantastic. Tomorrow we can just go and shake hands. Today we are going to shake hands, and today today not two, but three chips are coming your way, or maybe a packet is coming to you, right? So their fixation, we use it for social skill development, for language development, for behavior correction, for regulation of their emotions. And when we are going to a strange place where our child is going to feel uncomfortable with, we carry those comfort items with us in our bag, and we are good to go. So every challenge can be converted into advantage, but only our creativity is needed. And yes, therapists can help, but therapists are not staying with our children the amount we stay with them. They are not with our children for that long. There are a lot of things we might forget to tell them. There are a lot of things we have observed very, very passively, which, the therapist has not observed in our child. So they can give you, they can guide you, they can tell you, okay, this is what to do. But once you start putting your creative mind to work, then things starts changing. That's how I till date do it with my son. We've taught him many things when it comes to anything that is. There was time when teachers even told that we won't be able to do science with him. We won't be able to do social science. He is feeling agitated and all those things. There are a lot of times people said that this cannot be achieved. We 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 kept on achieving it because I never gave up. Yes, I want all the parents to have that thing in mind. Every child has a potential. Okay, only they are waiting for our creativity to come out. We need to be so creative to bring out that potential, to teach them. Only the teaching methodology is going to differ. That's all. Nothing else. They still have the potential. Their minds also can learn, and the more they start learning, the more exposure start happening, fixation starts coming down. Now their interest, the more we explore, the more we expose, naturally the fixation will come down. Now there are more things that they are trying to explore, right? Then fixation stops, because naturally it's not only the one thing that I like 10 things. So where's the fixation? It's gone, right? So that's what is, so fixation is like a child challenging us to become creative. That's what it is. It's like as simple for that. But when parents are also overwhelmed, yeah, parents are also overwhelmed that there is a stress. The child is not doing good in the school. The child's getting so many complaints, and there are so many challenges. I need to run from one center to the another, right? I need to do a lot for my child, and the in that stress, what happens is we somewhere lose the essence of enjoying their childhood, right? And it's happened with me. It's not. It's pretty natural. But the calmer we remain, the creative we get. And when we start seeing their challenges from this perspective, naturally that challenge reduces, isn't it? The challenge reduces. So my child is very aversive to certain things, but my child is very fixated on certain things. So why not I bring these two things together in different quantities? I'm good to go, isn't it? That's how we work around their sensory sensitivities. That's how we work around their educational goals. That's how we work around their language understanding, right? It's only about and expose. Expose your child to various activities. Dance class करा दो, normal teacher कर रहा है, साथ में आप चले जाओ, right? And blend the child somehow. And then you will see that the success will start coming, right? So all these challenges I have first hand handled with Rana, first hand, made him do things which therapist gave up on, made him achieve those goals which were given up by the therapist. We did all that because of the bond that we share, because of my understanding of my child, right? And that happens only when I spend a lot good, it's like a good me time when it comes to me and Rana, our time together, so that I understand him better than anybody else does, right? And we both never give up. Ranak has not given up on his mom, and I have not given up on him, and we work around the challenges. Apart from all this that I spoke, that I did a lot of dietary interventions. I did detox. I did protocols which could heal him from within, and all those things that I did actually healed him. I have seen improvement in his sleep, feeding, focus, his hypotonia becoming much better from 3 occupational therapists working at a time with him to gymming now. So it has been quite a journey, right? So I thought, why not help and talk to parents who are still struggling to find their path, and to help you with the bigger part of the puzzle. I bring to you my masterclass, which is happening on Friday. You can actually go to Rachna Autism Care. I have a masterclass link out there. You can come join. It's completely free. Apart from my masterclass, where I talk about this piece of puzzle, it's an intervention by the parent, from the parent. Um, it's not exactly something that I have developed. Yes, it has been done by the doctors, the nutritionists, the neurologists. That is what I'm talking about. And but it's like a compilation of my experiences, my learnings, my implementation of all those things which the doctors have recommended. I have implemented, seen results firsthand, and want to help the parents. So do come join me. I do it on Friday evening, 5 p.m. And I have for that, not only do I do a masterclass, I also have a 14-day program where we deep dive on the dietary intervention. We do environmental detox. We also learn about, the behavior management, the kind of therapies that one should look at as a parent, how to decide, how, when we are in a dilemma, what all things to do, the financial constraints, right? At what time, what should be added, all those things we take up in that 14 days program. So you can join there directly, or you can come join me on my free masterclass on Friday, 5 p.m. With that comes an end to my session today. I hope you enjoyed listening to me, because it is coming from parents' heart to and trying to touch the hearts of other parents who are trying to find uh, a path, a path that could help them teach their children, learn skills, right? Teach their children various things, academics, social skills, life skills, all those, right? So this is just a glimpse what can be done and what is possible. Yeah, I'll remain connected with you. We'll be seeing you soon. Yeah, bye bye. Take care.